All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for HunterxHunter, episode 125. Wow.
We're ways into this.
Palm has encountered Killua, and they have had a very important reunion.
Yes, indeed. For each other.
Yeah, and for Gon in a lot of ways. Because Palm was, in some ways, at this moment, Killua's only hope for Gon.
Right.
And that moment of him just breaking down, just begging her to, please do something because he can't do anything, hoping that Palm in there can actually hear him. And then she's like, no, you're the one Gon needs most right now.
Yep.
It's like, oh, yes.
And then to just add to the wholesomeness, Shia LaBeouf has concluded that he no longer needs Neferpito. He can just create the army and control it and all that stuff on his own.
Yeah.
So that will be interesting. What will he do with that?
Yeah, it's a little bit terrifying when Shia LaBeouf starts to scheme because generally speaking, his
schemes go along a very specific direction.
And it's not really for the betterment of anyone.
Like, he thinks it's for the betterment of himself, but
like the king, but
oh boy,
it would be interesting to
have Bard.
Yeah, it would be interesting to have like almost everything turn on Shia LaBeouf to where like he has to be taken down by his own or something.
I am very much hoping that happens.
That'd be pretty cool.
If it does, oh man, that'll be one of the best things ever.
All right, so looking forward to a Killua Gon reunion, maybe.
Possibly.
That could be good. Killua will realize he's not needed to stay here. We could continue the Netero and Meruem situation.
It would be nice to get back to that at some point.
Maybe we'll figure out what's Palm's order of business now that she's free.
Sure.
And she's gotten rid of her little observer in her her hair.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, we're hyped. So without further ado, let's get into this. All right, guys, we're going to start the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Yeah. Yeah.
Then into the opening.
Wow. It
feels weird to have this be something that stands out so much, but where did Palm get the lipstick?
No, that's just the color of her lips now.
Oh, yeah.
She's physically changed.
Yes. Yeah.
She's got fish scales, and you're concerned about lipstick? Like, but she has fish tails on her arms.
No, I get that but that's something where it's like I understand that that's something that they would actively change, right? Because that's part of turning her into a chimera ant, right? So there'd be some physiological changes, right?
Her skin color could be slightly different for all you know. The darkness might make
it... and it looks like it has been because, at the very least, Neferpito gave her some beauty treatments or something, but the lipstick always just gives me pause.
Yeah, let's be real. A lot of it is probably just that she's a female character, so the studio just decided, it was black in the manga. Let's just color it this, Oh, but going back to Gon. Oh. Oh. Whoa, whoa.
Well, this got even more complicated.
Dang. This is actually the perfect excuse for Shia LaBeouf to let everyone know, basically, that he's not really here.
Okay.
Aha, yep. Mm-hmm. Hi, God.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's an excellent question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh, those war drums. That's a good excuse.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That says a lot about Knuckles' character.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes. Oh. Whoa, God. Oh.
Yeah, they have no way to prove that that's true.
Yep. Yep.
The fact that it is true, it's like, oh, who cares?
Oh, with the Shia LaBeouf's theme in the background.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. That was a very specific, like,
Yeah, it's like that
analogy
great
was
that
made.
great rock in Australia in the
Yeah.
center, you know?
Uluru or Ayers
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah. That look at Shia LaBeouf. Oh my
yeah.
gosh, look at
Yeah.
that.
Oh, man.
Hmm. Oh. Wow. I mean, it's kind of funny, actually. If you...
But it's also a great representation of his mental state.
Yeah, yeah. Whoa. Whoa. That's the 10 minutes that
Yep.
that Shia LaBeouf
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it shows what he cares about.
Yeah. But also the strongest will part, you know. Yeah. Yep, that made sense.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, wow.
Gotcha. Very clever. I like it.
But this is 10 minutes.
Right.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Are you sure about that?
You have to stop him. Oh. And he said that with hurt,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, there and stuff. It. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's nothing left.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Wow.
Oh.
This is insane. These two.
Okay.
These two are going to tear each other apart. Yep, yep. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So she needs to basically, yeah.
Like Knuckle?
No. Whoa. maybe yeah, maybe not good to say that here. Okay, all right. Wow. That was a very tense little exchange of information.
But even the fact that he was about to say something and didn't, that's still kind of saying something.
Well, it's also something to be said for, you know, Neferpito, just seeing him there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, back to this.
Yep. Yep. Oh my god. Meruem. His name is Meruem. Oh.
Nope, 0 casualties so far.
Yeah, pretty surprising actually, like.
Maybe just a little bit.
Oh, that subtle thing with the red eyes there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is recap, but still, yeah. Like...
Yeah, it's like, I'm not sure whether they're doing the recap to just because this part was awesome and they want to show it again, or whether because they think somehow we forgot about this.
Well, like, no, I think it's primarily to set the stage for the immediate, you know,
right.
fight that comes after that.
Okay, here we go.
Oh my gosh. Wow. It's like a... Like...
Once anime characters start just flying, like...
Or not only that, going into some kind of a prayer, meditative state.
Especially when they go into the galaxy view or whatever
this lotus. Is. I was going to say, it's like a lotus stance, but... I didn't want to sound stupid if I was wrong. It's past.
Ooh. Yeah.
The sound clap effect of the punches, you know, shockwave being felt or heard after.
Right. Well, and the fact that it's always just a simple basic punch, you know?
Yep. Yes. Oh my god. Here we go.
Yeah.
He doubled! Put it there. What? What? Oh my gosh. Jeez. Wow. Holy crap. Oh. You know what's funny is that looks like a bug.
Of the Earth or something?
Yeah, but it looks like a bug in this.
Yeah, which is a nice
time.
Yeah.
Oh. okay.
Okay.
Well, there he is. Or no, it's just a little
just
mini,
a really cool shockwave.
mini explosion. Oh, music's changed. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh,
Where's
an
this?
underground chamber of sorts.
Watch, this is where the vault with the treasury is, and the other Chimera's just walking in, like, wrong way. Let's go. That's a shot right there.
Yeah. He's pretty vulnerable, actually, going down that way. For a second, he couldn't change his direction.
Right. And he, yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty impressive. The king was, forced down here. At least we think he was.
Well, and it looked like he was actually, like, needing to, struggle to, to defend himself.
Right. I mean, he released his aura, so it's just a question of whether or not it actually, broke through it in any way. Or maybe he's just pissed that he's like,
Yeah.
all right, I have to try now, too.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But for who?
Yeah. Whoa. It's that
Yeah.
perception thing of when...
Watch, Meruem reacts while he's going uber fast.
Well, I think that's going to be the point, is at some point they're going to shift into, like, all right, we're going to go all out in the animation. These two are going to fight.
I like so far, though, that they've doing the minimalist approach of having there be sort of, like, less cool animation.
Right.
And taking their time with it more. And that's, like, a way to sort of draw attention to just the craziness of what's happening.
Yeah. Jeez! All this done in the span of time that little rock was falling down there.
It knocked him over.
Jeez!
Okay.
I don't know. I don't trust it fully because...
But what if the twist they did is that Netero actually does kill him?
Wow, that would be crazy. Basically that, Meruem wouldn't raise a hand against him because... No. Oh, now, yeah, here it is. Here it is. Is he taunting him? Is he taunting him? There's no way. That's gotta mean something more. Like, what is going on?
Have we seen Netero, like, jokingly do that before? Like, when he saw, like, a girl that he liked,
No, I think maybe what we've seen is... We'd have to go back to, like, when he met Gon and Killua for the first time on the on the Zeppelin, or the blimp, or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
There might have been a time where he did something like that.
Because I want to say there was some... Because he's done some quirky things.
Well,
like,
Netero has played the pervy old guy, I think, at least once, but I don't think he did the, thing before. So,
gotcha.
I am... That has to be a taunt. Like, basically that he's just thankful, and in his heart, maybe there is a little bit of love, because
like from
this
the
is
bottom of my heart, I am grateful
for your, yes, giving me this opportunity.
Right. Or just to, the existence, whatever, the great beyond that lets him, like, fight like this or whatever.
Right. Oh, Naganenino.
But watch, that's all we'll get of the Meruem Netero fight for like another 3 episodes.
I could see them being done with the fight for a little bit, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Well,
all right. That was an episode full of different kinds of conflict.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So we have freaking Gon and Knuckle and Shia LaBeouf and Neferpito having this very tense conversation. And it's something that I get a little bit chills at, not just how, Gon just iron strong will in the middle of all this deters all of the manipulation that Shia LaBeouf is trying to do, but that this is Knuckle seeing Gon in the place where, if you remember back, the last time I think he saw Gon like this was when he almost was about to kill his master. So he's now drawn the connection, and yet he's staying cool. Now, it's not as overt, I think, that he drew the exact connection, because the narrator, for one, didn't want to share that bit there. Because I think it's kind of evident. I think it's just just straightforward enough. But like we are approaching the end. Like we are approaching the end very quickly. The biggest thing I think that happened this episode was really the realization from Neferpito. She's got to kill Gon, and like she's going to have to kill him very soon. And the reasons behind that of having him, basically, they use some really cool imagery to showcase how his will and his just this thing about him is a danger to the king, like potentially.
The whole Ayers Rock thing was really cool, but then they also did the tiger, the Siberian, or not sure. I keep getting the types of tigers that are the white versus
the Siberian tiger is the white.
Okay,
one, yes.
yeah.
But yeah, it could have been any tiger. They could have just shifted to black and white. But yes, you're right. And that imagery is, I would say, something where, in terms of how terrifying it could be to have him basically affect the king in some way that might not even just be a like an actual like physical threat, but someone that could how do we say this?
Because I wasn't sure whether she was basically saying him sinking his fangs into the king's neck was talking about Gon defeating the king, or talking about the fact that Gon could end up, as a result of his actions, killing Komugi. And that,
either way, I think
we attack his heart.
Right. I think the thing that Neferpito is the most terrified about is the king's heart being broken in some way.
Because she's probably like, we don't really need to worry about him like being killed in a fight.
Well, also that's literally what they said a few episodes ago, or 4 or 5 episodes ago, where they were saying that basically like she like knows the king's heart. Like that's her focus.
Yes.
Or wait, did they?
No, it was that she cares about it.
Yeah, she cares about the king's
whether or
heart.
not she understands it, who knows. But,
so Gon being someone that's so dangerous right now that he's not just a threat to her, or even just like by extension a threat to Komugi. He's one that will definitely be a threat to Komugi if she doesn't kill him, and then by extension a threat to the king. And if he's just allowed to roam free, I think she just doesn't know, how scary it could be.
Well, and that's
she's weighing the options and realizing, I don't want to find out. Let's kill things. Let's kill things here.
Better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry.
One of the things that they did really well, they've been doing really well in this arc, and came to like it was showcased really well in this episode, is the fact that characters know different things. And that's one of the reasons that the narrator exists, probably, so that we can keep track of what everyone thinks, because their perspectives are going to be vastly different.
Right.
Neferpito was going this whole time on the assumption that Gon was someone that had probably just tracked her down, right? But the fact that it's like, no, he's also here for the king, and he knows the direction that he went, that's an issue.
I think she's she's not aware truly of like the internal workings of Gon's mind.
Right, exactly. Which is what makes him even scarier.
Yeah, I think it's something where she got a little bit of a check when she realized that Gon knows where the king went. And that's something that, again, I don't think that she's saying that he actually is here for the king, as much as that he is, if things don't end well here, this could be really bad for the king.
Right, exactly.
And I think it's cool that she compared the strength of his will to be that's actually the terrifying threat.
Right.
One that I think is actually interesting about Meruem is that his will isn't actually as strong.
No.
Because we know what happened with Komugi. We know what happened with all of those other things. There's a really freaky quote. I'm trying to remember if it's from history, but it's from a time, and I've seen it quoted in other things, and I believe it's from.
Well, what's the quote?
It's basically like the hardest choices require the strongest wills, or something. It's something I believe from a. I think it's from a Nazi. I'm not sure. I have to go back and...
that sounds about right. Because, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, that... on the surface, that sounds good, but then it's like, that could be taken to some nasty extremes.
Yeah, and I believe it was used in a show or a movie that I watched recently where they were bringing that up, and then the person realized, oh, you've lost it. Like, the antagonist has lost it. And them comparing... in some ways, Gon's will to be something that could be a serious threat. That's the kind of thing where I feel like Gon's will is in some ways the thing that's the threat. But I am worried about the time when his will is, broken. Because, I mean, we've seen, like, in the opening, like Mob Psycho Gon, basically.
Yeah.
And... the worry of what happens if he continues in that state that he was going to be in when Morel tested him to see, like, are you actually serious enough? You need to come at me like you're trying to kill me. And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, which is funny because the person that seems to have had the least issue killing so far out of everybody is Gon. Yeah. Whereas then, like, the people that are the trained assassins and all that stuff have balked. So, now Shia LaBeouf.
Yes.
Shia LaBeouf.
Mr. Cloud of Mosquitoes.
yeah. Well, that was interesting what he tried to pull. I like that he did the whole thing of, like, telling, like, half-truths and things like that. To get on Knuckles' good side, but then of course Gon, is like, bullshit.
I see right through you.
Literally, you're made up of a bunch of tiny little bugs.
Right. Yeah. And the funny thing is that, like, I bought, like, Shia LaBeouf's thing for, like, the first few seconds and stuff. I was like, yeah.
Well, and a lot of what he was saying was true.
It was
like
true.
The whole idea of, I'm a clone right now. It's like...
Right. He is the main clone, though.
Wait, is he?
Yeah, because he was leaking out little clones constantly to get away.
I thought he sent, like, this was like 1/7 of himself or whatever, and then...
Yeah, but it takes time to have them all leave.
Right, but I thought he already did that. Okay, well, but point is, and then, of course, he did the whole thing of exploding into a bunch of little mosquitoes and flying off while cackling maniacally, and potentially dooming Komugi. Now... Yeah, he still might be okay, but he did that full well knowing what the potential consequences were.
Now, he might have, in some ways, also saved her life for the time being. I'm going to throw out there an idea in that what he might have done by leaving was showcase, yes, he doesn't care about Komugi. But if things had continued there, and he had tried to talk this out... I don't know what Gon would have done.
Sure.
And I think in some ways, this is a little bit of a practical side of Shia LaBeouf, is that he doesn't know what Gon would have done either. And I think he realizes how much more control over the situation he has
if he acts first.
Well, whenever he acts first, yes, but whenever he just goes off alone, like he's
sure.
I think in some ways this is something that I'm starting to get from Shia LaBeouf. He is starting to go a little, you know. But the thing is that he's just tired of all these stupid people around him making stupid decisions that he can't control. And he's just like, Ken, you guys, actually remember the Prime Directive. Why are we here? What this is all about. You guys are obviously forgetting. So I had to do everything myself.
On both sides.
On both sides.
No one remembers why they're here.
And I find it funny that Shia LaBeouf has, like, all this power. And also all this ability to observe, like to be aware of probably the most amount of info, like of anyone else in the entire setting. He probably knows the most about what's actually going on. And yet he can't actually coordinate. So he's doomed. He's doomed to be the one that's like aware of how badly things are going and not being able to actually do anything about it.
So if this were a tabletop RPG,
right?
And you've got the two parties, right?
Yeah.
Each party has a set goal that they're trying to achieve as a party. But the thing is, each person in the party is very much into roleplay. Almost too much. To the point where they're trying to do a cool character arc and stay true to their own character, but they're not taking into account overall party and story cohesion. So everyone is doing that. Except for him, really. Or at least he chose one that is still along the lines of...
Netero and Meruem are doing their thing for the most part.
Yes. They're doing their thing.
Yeah, but they're not even really in the parties. If you think about
they're their whole separate thing. That's almost just like a global, like, clock thing.
Yes,
it's just like, okay, keep doing your thing, and hopefully, you know, something
your
will
side
happen
wins in the global countdown thing. So I just find it funny that Shia LaBeouf, in some ways,
is the one person taking everything so seriously.
Is taking everything so seriously, and I'm saying this in parody, guys. Obviously, everyone's taking things seriously, but my thing is that he believes it's this way. It might not necessarily be exactly what's going on, but based on his perception, he should be able to see in some ways also how off he is. Now this is something funny, but most people aren't able to look at themselves without a mirror. I think in some ways Shia LaBeouf's gonna have a moment where he kind of takes a look at himself and he's just like, what have I become? Like what have I done? Like,
and that's in a best case scenario.
That's in a best case scenario. But let's be real, he's not gonna have that much self-awareness. No.
Well, and the thing is, he thinks so highly of himself that he probably thinks that if he ever was wrong, he'd know it. Like, like he'd be like, no. If I was really like off my rocker, I'd be aware of that. Like, you know.
That's when you know you're in trouble.
Oh yeah, especially since like okay, with what he's seen of like Neferpito and stuff. Neferpito in this current state is predictable. Like he could work with Neferpito if he really wanted to, right? And he kind of is in a way. He's, you know, being like, okay, she'll stay there. That means this guy will stay there. Cool. I'll just leave. Right?
Yeah, I'll take this knucklehead.
Yeah.
With me, you know.
Maybe he'll actually follow me and fight me. Maybe he won't. You know. If he
fights me, it's over. I'll kill him.
Right. And if I can't, well, he can't beat me because I'm a bazillion of me. So you know, what's the worst that's gonna happen? I'll keep him tied up. You know, basically, while the rest of me goes to help the king.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf really hard counters Knuckle.
He hard counters just about everybody. Like,
it is kind of ridiculous how his abilities are so many and like just ridiculous.
Actually, does Knuckle hard counter Shia LaBeouf? Because here's the thing:
he only has one Chikandes, and if he splits,
that's fine. That's fine. But it's based on Nen and stuff, right?
Okay.
So how do we know that when he hits the clones, it's still Nen transference, and those things are based on Nen, right?
So if he hits one...
If he hits one, the Chikandes, does he hit all of them?
Possibly.
Right? Do they have a joint bank account?
I think that's something that Knuckle would have planned just from having a master that uses not really clones, but like Nen emission type.
Right. And
they're clones basically.
Well, right.
I would say they're puppets is a more accurate representation.
Right.
But
So,
I think that
Knuckle,
if Knuckle punched, if he used his technique, Chapter 7 Bankruptcy, on one of those puppets, would that affect Morel? I don't know. I don't know.
Shia LaBeouf, yeah.
I'm talking about specifically because his
gotcha.
master is Morel.
Gotcha.
And he trained with his master probably. When he uses Chapter 7 Bankruptcy, does he think, oh crap, my master hard counters me because I have to get through all these freaking
clones,
or puppets or what have you?
Right.
Because those are different than clones. Those aren't straight up
but they're
Morel.
still Nen. So the question is like if they're now when he hits them, the whole idea is that he doesn't actually do damage, he lends Nen, right?
He lends aura.
Yeah, right. He lends aura. So maybe it wouldn't destroy the puppet, but then like if it did, would that Nen then be returned to Morel and then the bankruptcy would go with it?
Yeah,
like,
and what happens if Shia LaBeouf just realizes, oh, he put something on that one, and now that one's gone, and I rescinded that one, and now the thing just disappears.
Well, that's actually how I think it would end up like happening, because like if it was like treated as like a poison, right, and one of them gets poisoned, no big deal. But if you take that one and consume it into yourself.
Well, I was saying he would just destroy it.
Oh, and just be like, yeah, no, I don't need that little bit of Nen. That little bit of Nen can just disappear. That's fine.
I'm curious. I almost don't think that they will fight though. Because of the way that things are going down with Meruem and Netero, having a conversation between Knuckle, probably bestest boy and wholesomest boy of everyone here,
and would Knuckle even be willing to be in a fight to the death with somebody?
Well,
I mean, he doesn't have to.
Well, no, just
but
what happens when the boy who is the most like in the head talks with the most wholesome pacifist boy?
It'll be interesting.
Do they neutralize each other out?
Or does it just make Shia LaBeouf go even more insane?
I don't know. That's the point. Is like, what happens with them two? I never could have predicted that we would come so far, I would say, around on things that now Shia LaBeouf is having to encounter Knuckle, and Knuckle is alone. So, wow.
I wonder if Shia LaBeouf will actually like make a comment about how why are you even?
I could just kill you.
Well, not I could just kill you, but just why are you even here? you're so these people are here as an extermination squad, and
he's not going to be able to divine that quickly that he's a pacifist.
Well, right, but if he asks him questions about the whole the Yuppie fight and all that stuff.
Whoa, that's a good point. That's a good point. What do you think he'll tell him? Because Knuckle held back on telling, Gone. Or even in some ways probably because Neferpito was there as well.
Yeah.
But again, it was mostly because he didn't want to tell Gon that.
Well, but the reason he
distract him and
exactly
stuff.
He didn't want to put Gon in danger by telling him something that could turn off that killer instinct side.
Right. And
which is interesting that Knuckle would.
Yeah, but that's how closely he's thinking about others. And I think if he's thinking about others, why would he give away something that could be potentially important information to the enemy? Like, why would he even talk with the enemy beyond just maybe for the purpose of getting in the head of them?
Here's how it could be. Knuckle could basically see this as being, okay, this is actually an opportunity. Even though this guy seems a little bit off, the fact that the Chimera ants can be they have humanity in them.
He's going to reach out to that.
Yeah. And he's going to basically try and say, hey, we're not all that different and all that stuff. We can, have peace and all that stuff. And that's just...
and he just got unlucky because it's the one Chimera ant that is the most different from all of them.
Listen to something like that.
We need the kitty and the dog to interact. Neferpito and Knuckle, in the best of circumstances, would probably be pretty good friends.
Potentially.
Pretty much. I mean,
although I think Knuckle and Yuppie would get along better.
I agree.
Knuckle is more of a dog guy than a cat person.
I agree,
you know.
But still.
But yeah, they would actually probably be able to talk and figure things out.
I mean,
especially since, you know, at the very least, Neferpitou is busy healing Kamugi. You know, if he was saying, like, oh, by the way, there was this whole thing about, you know, like, da-da-da-da, now I'm starting to have doubts, Neferpitou would probably be very open to hearing about that because, at least in the situation she's in right now, she needs, you know, something like that, you know, any kind of lifeline because she's not in a good way.
Yeah, it's really crazy that right now, it's almost as if Neferpitou is basically resigned to die. Mm-hmm. And her thing is that she will save Kamugi.
Right.
And in some ways, she will kill Gon.
Uh-huh.
That's
what makes it really cool.
That's what makes it really cool because we know, okay, there's no way they're both gonna die.
Well, and let's face it, there's no way Gon's gonna die.
But if that's the case, do you think Neferpitou's going to die from the standpoint of it just being an all-out brawl between the two of them? Like when I think about how the Chimera Ants are just so strong,
mm-hmm.
I really like the picture in my head of Gon just not being strong enough.
Right, and it's one of the things.
And it's something where his will still like pushes him onward.
Now they literally set him up to be a crouching tiger.
Oh yes,
and yeah, and he hasn't really had a chance to like test his strength really because he hasn't actually fought anyone since Knuckle?
Whoa, like even then, was he really fighting
Knuckle? Like, you know, so it's one of those things of like, okay, that could just be a thing of okay, they haven't sort of like shown how like strong he really is, so that they can like reveal that and unfurl that. Mm-hmm. But also, it could be something of like, even though he has every reason, like motivation-wise, to be fighting at his absolute best,
right?
Story-wise, does he have a reason to be strong? They mentioned Nen is derived from will, and they talked about how his will was like, you know,
really
freaking
strong.
Ayers Rock, right?
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, look it up. Look up pictures of it. It's a big rock in the middle of Australia.
It is
really
the big rock.
The big rock. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Uluru actually means the big rock.
Yeah,
like, but or Ururu or however, I don't know. I don't know how it's pronounced or spelled, but the point is crazy stuff's gonna happen there, and then on top of it, there's all the stuff that's happening with Netero and Meruem, like Gon, has not actually thrown a single punch in a very long time.
Yeah. One of the things I think that would be really cool to have if they're really wanting to give us that kind of that shift in perspective, not shift in perspective, but that kind of that feeling of being omniscient with regards to where the story is in all these characters. The one character who we haven't really gotten internal stuff with, just kind of pointing at something out here, is that the narrator tends to avoid telling us what Gon is thinking. Now, there are moments where we get kind of when someone interacts with Gon, then we get to see that, like 116, for instance.
And the show, rather than tell thing, they've been doing it to great effect with Gon.
But since he's been in this position, that has ceased. I think it's a clever allocation of resources to give more screen time and things to some people who are more in a more flux position with regards to the plot and stuff. But what I would like to see is once this time limit's up and we start having things go there, I would like, in some ways, them to get a little clever. And we look at I've been looking at the little mob psycho Gon in the opening and stuff. And it seems kind of like something of like a form of a Super Saiyan kind of just like, Yep. One of the things that Nen has always been a huge kind of part of the show is basically when people need that, like I think back to Kurapika, when they need basically that special edge for that thing that they really want in the story above all else.
Oh, gotcha.
And they design
the conditions.
They design the conditions. And the thing is that if Gon is stuck in a specific point in time for a long time,
I see what you're saying,
stewing in his will, what if he's actually designing a conditional thing in that moment to kill, or maybe even to just make Neferpito do what he wants, like, and maybe that's just for him to be super
he's
stupid
an enhancer,
strong.
so if he wants to go manipulator, that'd be a little bit interesting.
Right. So I think it's more of just a thing of he's going
he hit really hard.
Yeah, he's going to be really strong.
Yeah, Gon smash.
And the thing about this is that when I think about what kind of conditions like Kurapika needed to have in order to make himself this strong or to even be effective really in combat, he needed to risk a lot. He needed to throw a lot of things on the line. And it wasn't like a lot of things in terms of there were a bazillion different conditions. It was no, it was that if he broke the condition, a whole lot of other exactly, yes. But like
were there any other conditions?
Was there something about him? No, it was just him dying. Yeah. Because he had the thing on his heart. Okay.
Yep.
For some reason,
there were all the conditions he could put on other people of like having to do
right.
things
That's what I'm thinking
stuff.
of. Okay, gotcha. But I could see this really being a thing where instead of having it be a thing where Gon is just really strong, it's a thing that where this will that they're experiencing, this terrifying presence of him is basically him thinking in his head. That's why he's not talking. That's why
that would be awesome.
It's basically him designing the way that he's going to destroy Neferpito.
Hey,
and she's sensing that.
Sure.
And I think that it's not necessarily the case that it's happening like in a linear fashion. It could be that he's thinking up the ways, and then at just a single moment, he decides.
There's all different kinds of ways they could do it, but
but you feel the tension building up every time we revisit Neferpito and Gon, and they had this moment here where she's like, "I can't let him near the king. I can't let him and his whatever interfere." With the king, get into and break his heart, hurt Kamugi or anything like that. So I have to kill him. I have to put my life on the line and risk that. And in some ways, Neferpito realizing that she needs to do that sounds a lot like a kind of a similar thing
to Gon or to Kurapika.
Well, to basically what we were talking about, the whole idea of netting conditions and stuff. She's basically saying, I will die before I let this one touch Kamugi or the king.
And if it's something where she was concerned about Gon actually being able to hurt the king directly, then I hope that they clarify that, because so far it seems like the whole thing is that she's worried about him indirectly hurting the king.
I think it's that. Yeah.
Kamugi, that's what I think it is too. But if it is actually like Gon going and just like stomping the king's face in, that would be something that I would love to have clarified.
Well, I think we're also we haven't even talked about, we'll just briefly touch upon the whole Netero and Meruem fight. They're fighting.
Yeah, they're fighting. And I hope we get more of it next episode, but I get the feeling
it's gorgeous.
They might wait, which would suck, but
still,
it's fantastic.
It's insane.
Yep.
And in some ways you can see that Netero is going to give a good fight, and also Meruem is pretty pissed about this situation, at least.
Yeah.
So I'm not ready to cast my vote towards either party yet. But
here's something
that little bit of just
that was just like,
that's confidence. I think that's what that is.
Possibly. Also, here's what I will say. No matter how difficult your opponent is, if the opponent doesn't ever fight back, you can beat them eventually.
That's true. That's very true.
That's just one thing I'll just put out there, because Meruem has not done anything to fight back. Even though he does, like, give off some scary shots and all that, that doesn't mean jack. Unless he actually throws a punch or something. Yeah,
it's crazy to think, but I don't think they're necessarily saying this, but he might not be fast enough. I think he is able to perceive Netero's movements.
Possibly.
So I think that he is not actually too slow, but they are bringing up that. So yeah, guys, this is a crazy episode. Crazy stuff.
Yes. So one of the things that I thought was really interesting that they brought up this episode was with Meruem. A lot of the shots were obviously very intentional, right? But if you think about it, as far as their character at this point,
their character,
yes,
who,
Meruem, he is very similar to Gon right now.
Well, yeah,
amazingly similar, and I'm not just talking about the fact that they're enhancers or whatever. And not just the whole thing of like Gon, doing the same like, crouching position and all that stuff as Meruem. But both of them, we haven't really seen their internal state much. They both have not been doing much, right? A whole bunch of stuff has happened around them and they haven't really responded. They're both acting because of someone that they very much care about that's had something horrible happen to them. But the whole thing that you brought up of Netero's ability looking like a bug, right?
Oh, that part when he was just
yeah, and it's the whole thing of like, okay, who's the Chimera ant, equivalent now,
right?
Yeah. And with how bad things are going with Gon, I would not be surprised if we saw more parallels for Meruem and Gon, and having them end in very different ways, and one of them being very badly.
Interesting. So when did we find out that the king was an enhancer?
Like when he did the whole thing of the eating the brain of the dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think I've never thought of the king as an enhancer. I think you might have mixed the kind of the perceptions of what we thought Netero was, because unless this is something he's conjuring, like his whole thing with punches
is all about enhancing. Yeah,
I would say that Netero is probably the enhancer, and the king just there's no really way to tell what he is.
The one ability that we've actually seen him use is an enhancement type ability, unless they categorize it as a specialist, but that would be just weird.
Well, it's a consuming thing. So,
well, right, yeah, it's weird, but we've seen like shoulder rolls to increase strength. So as far as I'm concerned, the eating the brain, that could just be another condition for enhancing himself.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking along the same lines as you, except that I think that it's actually that Meruem shares a part with Gon from the standpoint of the emotional side of things.
Right.
But actually it's Netero who is the one that's mirroring Gon right now.
Oh, of just being the exterminator and I'm going to crush this bug.
He's just being the exterminator, I'm going to crush this bug. He's showcasing a part of him that's monstrous. There's this thing that Netero is like wondering within himself. He's like, when did I get this way?
Right.
And when did I lose little parts of me along my journey? And he's got enough self-awareness, I think, just because he's older and experienced. But Gon? Oh boy!
Well, the other thing is that the things that Netero was talking about, he was talking about like, when did I become compassionate? Like things like that. Like when did I offer to take the hand of the people who I had defeated? Like when
he's stealing himself even more.
Yeah,
you're right.
To be the exterminator.
I think in some ways it's another mirroring of that. Gon is going to make it out of this okay. I don't think Netero has to. I think that Netero, as he becomes more and more like cold, I would say essentially to his humanity, so that he can just kill with extreme prejudice. He doesn't have to live.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's also better for the story in some ways if he doesn't, now that we get to this point where, the name of Meruem is what he, really wants, which means that the only weapon now, if like Netero can't actually beat the king, like if he can't kill the king, he can actually like threaten the king by saying, like, if I die,
then you don't get it ever.
You don't get it ever.
Which is like not true, because
not true at all.
He could just be like, "Hey, Knuckle, Moreau, what?" You know. But
yes, yes. But that could be something that he doesn't really have like no knowledge of or something like that. So I feel like now we're getting into that stage where if Meruem starts to fight back and he is strong enough to actually take Netero, and I believe he is, Netero's only real weapon is that he just can die and take his name with him, and then that's something that he could leverage. Like I don't know what the king's vast intelligence would be to counteract that. But, it's getting crazy, guys.
It is.
It's getting crazy.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the next episode. If you want to see the next 2 episodes' reactions right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get on early access there. Any level of support gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us about stories, whatever. Hunter, non-spoilery stuff, anything like that.
Yeah.
And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.